Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Ethereum is currently still, in my view, in a correction, and we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into the price action here. You can see that Ethereum did come down after the all-time high in this descending channel. You could even call it a bit of a descending wedge. Broke out here, moved in a larger or higher degree wave 4 here in blue, and is, I think, already on its way to the downside here in this blue wave 5, which would then also complete the correction somewhere in the target area that I talked about already back in November. So it was reached. I'm extremely pleased with that. And at the moment, what we could see here is that Ethereum is at the moment still making a higher low compared to the previous one. And as I said before, that at any point in time in this blue target area, the correction could be finished. And we have already seen here a first attempt to move out, making a higher low now, and possibly the price could now start to move up from here. Personally, I don't think it will. For me, this whole chart structure still looks too corrective. Yeah, my primary view would still be that we're coming once more lower into this target area. Yeah, and that is, by the way, sitting between $1,700 and 2,360, or yeah, let me just take a look where exactly that level is. 2,380. That's the 0.786 fib level. I think primarily I would expect the price to reach here 2,061. That is the 88.7% Fibonacci retracement level. That is where I would expect the price to land. The reason for that is when the price went first time into my target area, it did not quite reach this Fibonacci level. And I do think it will need to reach it to finally complete this correction. And if I zoom in a little bit here, what we can see, just the micro movements, and they don't necessarily need to play out like that. But we've also here, similar to Bitcoin, seen already probably a 1, a 2, it failed to make a higher high. So it was a wave 2 to the downside. Then we have a wave 3 here. Yeah, so I'm not sure if that here was the wave 3, or maybe the wave 3 was this down here, and then that the wave 4 is this. But you can see it hit my target areas here as well for the next moves, and basically it would be ready now that it hit the wave 4 target here. It could now move in a final wave 5 to the downside. That is certainly possible, especially as it got rejected here. Basically something like a double top here was rejected at this descending trend line. Okay, so couldn't really push higher than this. This was at 2,720 roughly, yeah, and it could be ready to move down lower. We're still in the bearish range on the RSI here on the 4-hour chart. So all of that is pointing still to the downside on the daily as well. Yeah, still to the downside. And there is no sign that the RSI is really pushing much higher than this, which would indicate increasing momentum to the upside. So still waiting for that next move down. And as I said in the previous video, it could really be that we stay above this channel line. Yeah, so as you can see here, this descending trend line can really take and guide us again into this target area, maybe to that 2060 level, and that could all play out throughout Q1. And then at some point we should have that correction finished. As I said, the potential is there. It has already finished it. Yeah, bear in mind, we've been talking about these price levels since November, and it has all played out so far. Now we are at a point where we're really at in the last few meters of this correction. Yeah, which doesn't mean we couldn't drop another 10, 20, 30%. Yeah, absolutely we could. And let's say we get to this $2,060 level. What would that mean for the Ethereum price? It would be a drop from just roughly here 20%. Yeah, absolutely possible. It could even move down all the way to 1,700. But given what I expect for the next major wave up, really it is not that relevant in my view where exactly we're going to land, because the next major wave up could take Ethereum to, well, at least 6,800. That is where it will take it at least, but possibly more likely 8,000 and maybe all the way up to 10,000. These are the Fibonacci extensions that would be seen in the next wave if we make a wave 3 in the next step. Yeah, we're currently here in a wave 2 after the wave 1 was the all-time high. And yeah, so looking at the higher time frame indicators that are more meaningful, we can see that we are getting here probably close to the end of a correction, but the RSI and the MACD, sorry, hasn't really turned yet. You can see that the descending or the selling pressure is reducing here. it's reducing it on the weekly, but it's still sort of not really turning around. You can see that blue MACD line, it's not really turning around yet, indicating that the downtrend for me is not over yet. Even on the 4-day chart, where it was trying to turn around, that has now been pushed down again. Therefore, I don't think the correction is over. And on top of that, the whole structure of the chart still looks very much corrective, especially if you go to the lower time frames. But I need to admit that Ethereum looks better, for example, than Bitcoin and than many other cryptos, but still this here, it does not look impulsive at all. Yeah, what we're doing here at the moment. So yeah, overall unchanged views. Yeah, what the price should not do or must not do in the current scenario here, that where I do expect another sell-off. Yeah, the price must not move above $3,430. If it does that, then we have to talk about higher prices, and then we could already see this potentially as confirmation that the low was already in, but only if we break above 3,430. That is important. I mean, we've got a cluster of resistances up here, starting from 3,280 all the way up to 3,430. My view is the price needs to stay below that to really get this final sell-off done. If it really breaks above 3,430, it will unlock much higher prices, and then we could really talk about a potential of the low, that the low was already in for Ethereum. That's my view here on Ethereum at the moment. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And if you really like the content, yeah, check out the channel membership for access to the Telegram chat, the Discord server, and a weekly live stream. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.